Hey there, it's Tara from Raw Food Livin', and in this video I'm going to answer the question of whether the raw food diet is an eating disorder and whether my raw food diet specifically is an eating disorder. So I made a video about a week ago covering the topic of cooked food, how and when and why I eat cooked food, and also how my body deals with it. I will link to that video in the comments and the description below if you guys want to see that. But I received a comment on that video that the raw food diet is an eating disorder, and I wanted to address that because I do think that the raw food lifestyle can definitely be an eating disorder. But I want to say that I think it has so much more to do with mindset than it does the food you're eating, because I believe you can have an eating disordered mentality or disordered eating habits on any lifestyle. Whether you are vegan or not vegan, I don't think it really matters what type of lifestyle you are living. And I personally came from an eating disorder background, and that's one of the reasons I found the raw food lifestyle, because I was looking for something that was abundant, something where I did not have to restrict my calories any longer, and I could eat a lot of food and feel good. That was really important to me. And it's not to say that you cannot live a raw food lifestyle or a vegan lifestyle and still have an eating disorder. That is entirely possible, because like I said before, I think an eating disorder is largely what you think. It's largely the patterns that you have and the self-talk that you have going on in your mind. But that does not inadvertently make the raw food lifestyle or raw food diet an eating disorder. It's not an eating disorder by default. And I kind of wonder where this idea of eating healthy and wanting to feel good in your body, when that became disordered eating. I think it was the term orthorexia that kind of did it, and people became afraid of eating too healthy because it would become an obsession. But I don't think the obsession has anything to do with the food you eat. I think you can live a standard American diet and be obsessed with food just as much as you can eat fruits and vegetables and be obsessed with food. And I think the way to heal from an eating disorder and get rid of those eating disordered habits and mindsets Pepsi just ran through with a big stick. I think the way to get rid of all of those things is to learn to love yourself and to nourish yourself. To eat in a way that isn't about calories, isn't about macronutrient ratios, but is about nourishing your body and eating the foods that make you feel good. I think that is a good place to start. If you can focus on the nutrition in the food, the colors of the food, and eating foods that you enjoy. And I think a lot of people who have eating disorders, they don't eat the food that they enjoy. They don't eat to nourish their body. They eat to become a certain size. They eat to restrict. It's a way of controlling some part of their life if they feel like other parts of their lives are out of control. Not only does it start with eating foods that nourish your body though, and eating in a way that makes you feel good, the self-talk in your mind has got to change to heal from an eating disorder. And if the self-talk never changes, then it doesn't matter how healthy you eat. It doesn't matter what diet or lifestyle you eat. If you don't change the way you feel about your body and the things that you say to yourself in your mind, you're never going to heal from an eating disorder. And at least that's my own experience, is that the mental talk I had going on was just as important as the food I was eating. Because I would say for the first few years of living a raw food lifestyle, I did try to restrict. I tried to stick with this 80-10-10 lifestyle, eating 3,000 calories a day, which is not 80-10-10, but it was a different prescription of the raw food lifestyle at the time, eating super low fat. And during that time, I actually had to post on a daily basis on 30bananasaday.com just to get through it, just to have the willpower, because I needed to be held accountable to eat no overt fats. I remember doing it once for 30 days and I felt like I was a crazy person because all I could think about was nuts and seeds and avocados. To me, that's still a form of eating disorder behavior and mentality, because I was restricting to lose weight. I mean, it was an experiment to see how I would feel, and I did feel generally good, but I didn't feel good 100% because I was still thinking about eating these foods and wishing I could eat them. And that is what it comes down to for me. If you are obsessing over macronutrient ratios, calories, any of those things that don't really matter when it comes down to it, as long as you're eating healthy and living healthfully, then that can absolutely be an eating disorder. I think it's dangerous though to label all raw vegans as having an eating disorder or being orthorexic or being obsessed with food, because I think you absolutely can be, but it's not true for everyone. I have found peace with food, my diet, and my body, and yeah, it took a long time. And I had to overcome a lot of things like this obsession with eating super low fat and just feeling comfortable in my body with the size that it is and not wanting to constantly change it. It is a journey to overcoming an eating disorder. It's not like you can just one day wake up, start eating raw foods, and oh look, I'm cured. It doesn't work that way. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the topic of whether the raw food diet is an eating disorder, and now I would love to hear what you think. What's your experience with it? Have you eaten a raw food diet and had it be an eating disorder for you? And on the flip side, do you eat a raw food diet and find it to be completely abundant with no restriction and don't feel like you have any eating disorder behavior at all? I'm curious about this one because I think there's probably an equal blend of people on both sides of the coin. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more discussion about the raw food lifestyle in this way, where it's not overly edited and I'm just sharing my thoughts, give this video a thumbs up as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.